Millionaire steals from poor mother. Caitlin Parker was used to going unnoticed. A single mother of two, she worked double shifts at a rundown diner in a quiet New Jersey town, barely scraping enough to cover rent and school lunches. Her husband had vanished years ago, leaving behind a mountain of debt and a baby boy in her arms. Her daughter Mia was now 12, and her son Jordan 8. They didn't know luxury. They knew how to stretch pasta for 3 nights and how to patch shoes with glue and prayers. Every day, Caitlin passed by the gleaming tower of Hawthorne Industries, a company rumored to make billions from pharmaceuticals. She'd heard the name Lincoln Hawthorne whispered with awe and envy. He was one of America's youngest billionaires, ruthless in business and dazzling in public. Caitlin had no reason to think their lives would ever intersect. That was until the day he walked into her diner. It was a Tuesday morning, and Caitlin was serving burnt toast and watery coffee to a couple of truckers when a tall man in a charcoal suit entered. He looked oddly out of place among the chipped formica tables and flickering neon lights. Caitlin greeted him politely, not recognizing him at first. "Coffee?" she asked. He nodded, surveying the place with mild distaste. "Black," she returned with a mug and a quiet smile. As he took a sip, his eyes narrowed. "This coffee tastes like engine oil." "Sorry, sir. Our machine's been broken for weeks. Best I can offer." For a moment he looked as if he might leave, but something made him stay. Maybe it was Caitlin's calm resilience, or the tired lines under her eyes. They said she'd lived through things most people couldn't bear. She didn't flinch when he criticized. She didn't apologize unnecessarily. She just carried on. The man came back the next day, and the next. Finally, Caitlin asked, "You lost or something?" "I'm Lincoln Hawthorne," he said, watching her reaction. She blinked. "Okay, and I'm Wonder Woman." He chuckled. "No, really, I'm scouting locations for a campaign ad. We want a real American diner backdrop. Then you should try the fancy one downtown. Ours is held together with duct tape and dreams. Exactly what I'm looking for." That was the beginning. Lincoln had his assistant offer Caitlin a contract, $10,000 to use the diner for a weekend shoot. She signed without reading the fine print. She needed the money. They filmed, left, and a week later, Caitlin discovered something horrifying. Her grandmother's necklace, her most precious keepsake, was missing. It wasn't worth much in money, but it was all she had left of the woman who raised her. She searched everywhere. Nothing. Later, Mia told her, "Mom, I saw the fancy man looking at your necklace the day they were here." Caitlin's heart dropped. Number. It couldn't be. He was a billionaire. Why would he steal? She tried calling the number his assistant left. Disconnected, she sent emails. No replies. Desperate, she took a bus to Hawthorne Tower, kids in tow, and begged their receptionist for a meeting. "We don't take unscheduled appointments," the woman sniffed. "But it's urgent. Something personal was taken. If you don't leave, we'll call security." Caitlin left, holding Jordan's hand as Mia sobbed silently. That night, something in her broke. For weeks, she searched online forums, tried calling every number linked to the company, posted on social media, but no one listened. Just a poor woman accusing a powerful man. Months passed. Bills mounted. The $10,000 was gone, used on medical expenses after Jordan had a severe asthma attack. Her world crumbled piece by piece. Then one evening, while flipping through TV channels, she froze. There he was, Lincoln Hawthorne on a late-night interview, praising a recent acquisition and showcasing a personal piece that reflects the American spirit, a vintage locket he wore on his lapel. It was her grandmother's necklace. She screamed. This time she didn't beg. She planned. Caitlin saved for a bus ticket to New York City. There she stood outside the Hawthorne Charity Gala, dressed in a plain thrift store dress, holding a cardboard sign. "That necklace belongs to my grandmother." People laughed. Some took photos, but one older woman didn't laugh. Eleanor Briggs, the CEO of a rival firm, watched her for several minutes, then walked over. "Tell me everything." Caitlin poured out the story. Eleanor listened without judgment. 2 days later, Caitlin received a call from a lawyer. Eleanor had arranged pro bono representation. Within weeks, her story made headlines. Poor mother accuses billionaire of theft. Talk shows debated. Journalists demanded answers. Lincoln denied it all. It was an anonymous auction item, he claimed. I have the receipt. But Eleanor wasn't done. She had contacts. Soon the truth surfaced. The auction was fake. His assistant had acquired the necklace from a source during the diner shoot. Lincoln had admired the piece, and rather than ask for it, he took it. It was petty theft. But more than that, it was heartless. The backlash was immediate. Stock prices dipped. Protesters gathered outside his offices. Investors pulled out. Lincoln tried to spin it. I didn't know it was hers, he said on air. Too little. Too late. Caitlin didn't want revenge. She wanted justice and closure. The court ordered Lincoln to return the necklace and pay damages. He offered her $2 million to settle quietly. She refused. In court, she stood with shaking hands, wearing the same thrift store dress. This wasn't about money. It was about being seen, being heard. My grandmother's necklace was all I had left of a woman who taught me how to survive. And he took it, thinking I wouldn't fight back. But I did, and I will, for every mother who's ever been ignored. The judge awarded her $5 million in emotional damages. Caitlin donated a portion to legal aid services for low-income families and used the rest to open a new community diner called Mama Grace's, named after her grandmother. Today, Caitlin doesn't just serve meals. She offers job training, childcare, and support for struggling parents. And every day she wears the locket around her neck. As for Lincoln Hawthorne, he was forced to step down. His company weathered the storm, but he never regained his reputation. Months later, he walked into Mama Grace's, disguised in sunglasses. Caitlin spotted him instantly. I came to say I'm sorry, he said, voice low. I don't need your apology, she replied, calm and firm, but you can donate to the shelter next door. They need beds. He nodded and left quietly. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it speaks in soft voices, steady hands, and the unwavering gaze of a mother who won't be silenced. Caitlin Parker had been invisible. Not anymore.